The Blacklist. Almost every MMO has some form of one. When you're supplying people a place to be social with each other, it's crucial to involve protection. Mabinogi is a game that's had a blacklist since its release in 2004, but has basically had no changes since. So what happens when you don't keep your protection, in this case Mabinogi's blacklist, up to date for its users? Today we're going to take a little dive into what sort of issues we have with this system in the year 2024 and what we could hope to see changed. First and foremost, I think it's important to give this community a friendly side reminder to not believe everything they see or hear from someone online. This is something that's been a known issue on the internet since the beginning, yet it still seems to be a major occurrence on Mabinogi. We all know how commonly someone might judge another player based on something they've been sent by someone else. Do you really know if what they said or had shown you is true? Have you asked the other player about it? If the answer is no to the last question, do you really truly know what happened? This is something that can be harmful and lead to bullying online. We know how damaging that can be. Of course, this is just one big example of what may happen if you trust anything you see or read. Please be vigilant. Going back to our main topic, I'd like to start with the explanation of how our current blacklist system works. If you open your friends list, you'll find a couple of categories listed. Everyone starts with the etc. and blacklist tabs. Anything outside of those two have to be manually created by yourself. When you right-click a character you no longer wish to see, you have the ability to press a button that says Add to Blacklist, which will then make their character disappear. If you don't have space in your friends list, this character will automatically appear the next time you re-enter the same map as them. We're also going to talk about why this is a problem. Now that we have our basic understanding of how it all works, let's get into how something that simple also includes many flaws. The most immediate point people tend to bring up is the friends list sharing space with the blacklist. People don't play the game expecting to limit how many good friends they make just because they also want to be safe from other players harassing them or just being plain annoying. This means you're currently punished for not sucking it up or dealing with it, which defeats the whole purpose of a blacklist. And as said before, if you do try to blacklist a player with a full friends list, they'll always come back. For the future, we can only hope that these two lists will be separate, and maybe have thousands of slots available to block all the bots. Next we have our other major point. The players you blacklist can still see you despite you not being able to see them, and I'll put a video up for you guys to see what this does in EVG. Sure, not being able to see them is important in order for you to be able to avoid, but this unfortunately sometimes pushes the harassers to engage even further. The blacklisted players who have the knowledge that they're in their position oftentimes try to bypass the system with one of the many actions they're still currently able to perform. This is where we get into the huge list of what players are able to continue to do while being blacklisted. Currently, players who are blacklisted can still note the player, send and receive mail, see or use party advertisements and bugles, purchase from the player's shop in order for their name to flash on the screen, use props, mini-gems, and doll bags. They can enter the player's homestead, request flight together, attack the player in EVG, and enter the same party as the player. This is all just the stuff that I was able to test and figure out myself, so there's likely even more to add to the list. Shout out to Pika1998 for letting me temporarily do these tests with him. Now, I don't want to talk about these flaws without also talking about why they may still be around. Because this game is as old as it is, we have no idea if these just genuinely cannot be given a fix with the current engine. It's well known within the community that while the engine allows a lot, it also does not handle things well. I'm not someone who has a profession in the proper field, so me giving solutions are only going to be suggestions in the end. The other potential reasons there have been no change could be because it's not the current top priority, and they could still be waiting to tackle it with the Unreal Engine. So what would some of my own suggestions be if given the opportunity to recommend? Some obvious changes would be to separate the friends list from the blacklist, not allow both parties to see each other if even one is blacklisted, which includes messages in any way. Props, mini-gems, and dolls should not be seen. No requests should be able to be sent to either party, and there should be a warning message telling someone they can't enter a party with a blacklisted player. For the players who get harassed by others who they can't find in order to add them to their blacklist, give us an option to remotely type a name to blacklist. In short, make it so that any time the system is used, it makes each party non-existent for each other. Finally, we'll talk about how potentially remedying this old protective system could positively affect our community. Many of the people who play Mabinogi have been playing for a big chunk of their lives, so you'd hope to keep them safe mentally. Lots of people suffer from mental health issues, and it does continue to pass over into their online presence. By changing how the Blacklist works, there is the potential to protect players from stalkers, bullies, bots or scams, and more, which in turn would make people happier with their time on the game. Not only would it be positively affecting the community of players, but it could also help clear up a lot of the reports and tickets that are sent into the team at Nexon. That's all for today's topic, and enough of saying the word Blacklist. I promise that's the last one. If you guys have more suggestions, insight, or maybe found some more flaws to bring to our attention, please let us know in the comments below. If Nexon happens to be listening to this video, please know that I care very much for the game and would love for the system to have a positive change like the rest of the game has been having. Thank you guys. Goodbye!